In this subject, water resource engineering, today we start a new model, that is hydrograph. These are the contents of this module. Okay, so in this model, the first chapter is runoff. So first we'll discuss about runoff. Okay, then I will come to the hydrograph. What is runoff? The runoff that we discussed, that is the precipitation. Okay, part of precipitation which flows on the surface and join the stream. Means the part of precipitation which at last join the stream. Okay, join the stream is called runoff. And this stream water joined at last to the catchment outlet. The draining of precipitation from a catchment area through a surface channel is called runoff. Means here this is the catchment. Okay, this is the channel, means river or streams. Okay, this catchment water joined to these small streams, then small streams to this mainstream, then mainstream water to this outlet. Okay, so the water which flows on the catchment area and join this open channel, and at last it joined the main this outlet, the catchment outlet, is called runoff. So this runoff is sum of the surface runoff and interflow. Okay, surface runoff means the flow which travels all the time over the surface and through the channel, through channel as open channel flow and reaches the catchment outlet. It's called surface runoff. Means the surface runoff means this overland flow, means over the land which flows and join the stream, and the stream join to the outlet. Okay, the overland flow which join to the stream is called surface runoff. Interflow means the part of infiltrated water. Okay, some part during rainfall, some part of the water infiltrated. Okay, that part of the infiltrated water, not all the infiltrated water, part of this infiltrated water moves laterally through upper layer of the soil. Means this upper crust or the upper layer of the soil, okay, it moves laterally in this direction, okay, through the gravity, through the motion of gravity it flows. Okay, after infiltration, this upper layer water moves inside the soil, okay, towards this stream soil and return to the surface at some location away from the point of entry into the soil. Let these are the point of entry of the, into the soil. Okay, and it moves laterally in the soil and join here at this point. Join here at this point to this stream. Okay, so here it infiltrated, here it joins. So this part of infiltrated water which joins the stream is also called runoff, that is called interflow. Okay, means all the part of water which joins to the stream is called runoff. So during rainfall, just directly over the surface, which is called overland flow, it joins to the stream, that is called surface runoff, and the interflow, which is the infiltrated water which joins the stream, okay, in the upper layer of the soil, okay, just during the rainfall or just after the rainfall. So this interflow is two types. One is prompt interflow, another is delayed interflow. Prompt interflow means the interflow which joins the stream in short period of time. Okay, in short period of time during rainfall or just after the rainfall, which the flow which joins the stream is called prompt interflow. Means suddenly after the rainfall it joins to the stream. Delayed interflow means the interflow which takes long time, means it may take years after years or months after months. Okay, it joins to the stream, means through the layers of the rocks, okay, through the deep layer of the soil. Okay, so gradually there will be slow movement of the water, okay, in the soil, and it joins to the stream. Okay, it takes long years, means long time, years after years or months after months. So these are called delayed interflow. Okay, next is classification of runoff based on the time delay between precipitation and runoff. Between the precipitation, the time of precipitation and the time of joining this runoff to the stream. One is called direct runoff, another is called base flow runoff. What is direct runoff? Direct runoff means the runoff which enters the stream immediately after the rainfall. That means surface runoff, okay, which is overland flow. Then prompt interflow, which just means in short period of time is just to the stream. Then rainfall on the surface of the stream. The rainfall on the surface of the stream means there may be rainfall on this surface here. Okay, that is also runoff. So this combination of this term, this three term is called direct runoff. Next is base flow runoff. What is base flow runoff? The delayed runoff that reaches the stream essentially as a groundwater is called base flow. The delayed runoff that reaches the stream essentially as groundwater. Okay, as groundwater here, this is the groundwater. This groundwater joined the stream. Okay, that is delayed runoff. That is nothing but that is delayed runoff. The delayed interflow, we can say. That we can say delayed. This base flow is nothing but that delayed. Yes, that is delayed interflow, because it takes long time to reach the surface. Okay, the delayed runoff that reaches a stream essentially as groundwater, that is called groundwater runoff, or that is called delayed interflow, or that is called base flow. There's three terms: base flow, delayed interflow, or groundwater runoff. Okay, it's called base flow. So if there is base flow, the river is called perennial river. Okay, the classification of stream based on this base flow contribution. Okay, there can be perennial stream, there can be intermittent stream, ephemeral stream. In perennial stream, okay, throughout the year there is base flow contribution. Here, this is the plot of between discharge and the time. Okay, from June 1 to March 31. Okay, this is called water year. This is called water year. Means like academic year, like this. Okay, this is called June 1st to May 31st. It is called water year. Okay, so usually the plot is between June 1 to May 31. So discharge, if you plot during this is the monsoon period from July to year October, this September last. This is the monsoon period. After monsoon also there is no rainfall, but there is some contribution. You see there is no zero. Okay, there is some discharge in the river during lean season, means during summer season also, during May, during April, during March. Okay, that is due to base flow contribution. That is due to this groundwater flow from contribution of groundwater. That is called groundwater runoff. Okay, in these periods. So throughout the year there is some flow, that is called some base flow contribution, that is groundwater runoff, that is called perennial stream. Means some water is there throughout the year. Intermittent stream means there is limited contribution from the groundwater. Okay, limited contribution. During the rainfall season there is contribution, you see here from June 1 to here up to this this October, November, December, there is some contribution here. After that there is no contribution, some limited contribution is there, but during rainy season at least there is contribution. Even if there is no rainfall, during rainy season there is some contribution. Always up to November, December there will not be rainfall. Only up to July, August there will be rainfall. Okay, even if there is no rainfall, some limited contribution during these periods. Okay, but during the summer season there is no contribution. So there is limited contribution of groundwater. Here ephemeral stream means the stream that does not have any base flow contribution. Okay, means here only rainfall. When there will be rainfall, that some discharge will be found in the river. Some water will be found in the river. Okay, otherwise there is no flow in the river. So that is called, that means there is no base flow contribution, or there is no groundwater runoff to the stream. That is called ephemeral stream. Okay, only if there is rainfall, then some discharge or some flow will be found in the river. Otherwise there is no water in the river. Next, classification of stream. It is based on the flow between stream and groundwater table. means from stream to groundwater, from groundwater to stream. Okay, from groundwater to stream, from stream to groundwater. Okay, in the two-way flow can occur. One is influent stream, one is effluent stream. This is basically with respect to the groundwater. This is classified. The stream in which there is contribution or the flow of stream water to the groundwater means if the flow is occurring from stream to the ground means there is contribution to the groundwater from stream, then it is called influent stream. Means if it is towards the groundwater, then it is influent. If it is away from groundwater, then it is called effluent stream. Means here the stream in which the water flows from the groundwater table to the stream, from groundwater table to the stream, means away from groundwater table, that is called effluent stream. Okay, this usually perennial rivers are effluent streams. Means in a perennial river there is groundwater runoff throughout the year. Next is estimation of runoff. This runoff estimation is very typical process. It is a very cumbersome process if we consider all the physical parameters, because using mass balance equation usually it is estimated, and usually if you do the correlation method. Okay, just I will tell about correlation method and empirical equation method. Okay, in correlation method you can develop correlation between this runoff and the precipitation. For small catchment, the runoff varies with this precipitation linearly. R equal to A P plus B. A is a constant, B is a constant. Okay. So if you plot this, plot a graph between R and this P. This is the P rainfall, and this is R. You will get one straight line, linear curve. Okay. These are the data points. So you can get one linear linear line. You can get straight line. You can get this straight line. Okay. From here, if you plot in the Excel, you can get directly equation. You will get. Okay. And if you plot in your graph paper, you can get this slope, M, slope you will get, and this intercept you will get. Okay, directly you can put B, this is the B value, this is the A value, M is the A, Mx plus C in this form. Okay, or if you don't have a graph paper, if you want to calculate, then you just use these formulas to calculate this A, B. A and B is nothing but these are the intercept and the slope. Okay, you can calculate using this formula. If you are not putting in graph paper. If you are putting in graph paper, then this is the intercept and this is the slope. If you are putting in Excel, then directly equation you can get with R square. R square means correlation coefficient. Okay, coefficient of R is the coefficient of correlation. R square is the coefficient of determination. Okay, coefficient correlation, the formula is this here. Okay, in Excel directly you will get the R square value if you put in Excel. For large catchment, there is no linear relationship between runoff and precipitation. There is non-linear relationship. Okay, so for this you have to take logarithmic in both sides. Okay, logarithmic transformation you have to do. Then ln R is equal to be m ln p plus ln beta. This is form of y equal to mx plus c. Y equal to mx plus c, straight line equation. If you plot between this ln R and lp, you will get one linear equation whose intercept is nothing but this ln beta, and slope will be what? Slope will be this m. Means you have to plot here between ln p and this is ln R. Okay, so m beta are the coefficients. If you plot, you will get one straight line. Here this slope is here m and this intercept is ln beta. Okay, so the maximum value of this correlation coefficient is 1, 0 to 1. It varies from 0 to 1. Okay, next is empirical equations of this runoff calculation. There is one formula, English formula. There is Koslak formula. There is no physical basis of this formula. That's why it is rarely used. These formulas are rarely used. Okay, and it is basically limited to that watershed where research has done. Where research has been done. Okay, in Western Ghat when research has been done, so this formula is applicable for that region. You cannot apply this in all over the region. For Deccan region, the Deccan catchment, okay, this formula you can use. P is the precipitation, R is the runoff in centimeter. These are the precipitation minus LM, means that is the monthly losses, and LM is calculated 0.48 TM, means R is equal to P minus 0.48 TM. So here mean monthly temperature, T is the mean monthly temperature of the catchment, R is the monthly runoff, P is the monthly rainfall. Okay. So this Khosla formula and this English formula is rarely used because there is no physical basis between this on these empirical equations. These are the data-driven models. Okay, they are developed using regression equations, and these are basically valid for that catchment for which it is developed. Okay, so that is rarely used of this method. Next is flow duration curve. What is flow duration curve? It is the plot of discharge against percentage of time the flow is equal or exceeded. Means if you plot the discharge means y-axis, and in x-axis if you take percentage of time that flow is equal or exceeded. Okay, that curve is called flow duration curve. For an example, this 150 it is percentage, this percentage probability of accidents, this is the percentage probability of accidents, is nearly 28%. Okay, let it's 28%. Okay, it means 28% time of that particular station. Okay, 28% of time throughout the year or throughout that data period. Okay, the discharge is equal to or more than 150 meter cube per second. So this flow duration curve is developed for a particular station and for a particular duration. It may be throughout maybe for a year, or it may be for a month. It may be for that particular data, depending on the data for which it is year plotting. Okay, so for that duration, here if it is 150 meter cube per second, for 150 meter cube per second is 28%. That means 28% of the time the flow is 150 or more than 150 meter cube per second at that particular station. Let for this 100. For this 100, it is let this is the for 100 let it is 50. It is 50. 50% of time the flow is 100 meter cube per second or more than 100 meter cube per second at that particular station. Okay, so this is the probability that that a given flow will be equal or exceeded. That is the percentage time that flow is equal or exceeded. Means 50% time flow is 100 or more than 100. Calculated by sorting, it is calculated by using this formula, that is m by n plus 1 into 100. Okay, this is calculated by sorting the discharge in decreasing order. First we have to sort the data in decreasing order. Okay, maximum value first, minimum value last. Okay, in ranking 1, 2, 3 ranking we have to give. Okay, ranking. N is total, n is total, this capital N is the number of data points, total number of data points. Then M is the ranked position on the listing. Okay, so for each data we have to calculate this PP, probability of accidents, for each value of discharge. It is 1, first rank it is 1, 1 divided by, let there is 10 number of data, so 1 by 11, so it will be 1 by 11 into 100. For the first, which is maximum, for the first rank. For the second rank, it will be 2 by 11 into 100. Okay, this curve actually characterizes the ability of the basin to provide flows of various magnitude. Means the basin in which the flow provide flows of various magnitude. Means different magnitude of flows for what percent of time it is flow will be there. That is okay. That can be determined using this flow duration curve. Let's reservoir effect on the flow duration. Here I just forgot to perennial stream. In the perennial stream, this flow you can see it will be 100%. Means throughout the year you will get some water. Means when 100% accidents, that means some minimum like 40 or 40 meter cube per second. Means 100% time the water is either 40 or more than 40. Let this is 40 or more than 40 meter cube per second. That means throughout the year, throughout that period, the water is there in the river. Some water is there always. Okay, means that is the minimum water is 40 meter per second. It is perennial river. In case of intermittent ephemeral river, you will not get time, you will not get flow throughout the year. Means up to 70% time you will get some flow. Up to 7% time. This 30% time you will not get any water. Discharge zero. Okay, so this is the plot of the perennial stream and intermittent or ephemeral stream. Okay, their flow duration curve. Next is reservoir effect. If there is a reservoir, then you can store some water. So during lean period, you can supply that discharge to the stream. Okay, so here during lean period, if you store some water, let there is high flow in the river during this period. If you store, the water will decrease. Okay, but that water will store in the river. Okay, you are regulating the flow. You are stopping the flow. You are storing the flow, and you can supply during lean period. During lean period means there is some person who is less water. Here there is okay. This person there is some water here. Okay, some person but it's very less water. If you supply that reservoir the storage water, then you can increase the discharge here. Means 100%. If you have the reservoir, you have 100% more than 25 meter cube per second. If you are not constructing the reservoir, it will be less, nearly 10 or 5 meter cube per second. So these are the use of the flow derivation curve. In evaluating various dependable flows in planning of water resource engineering project, in evaluating the characteristics of hydropower potential of a river, in the design of drainage system, in flood control studies. Okay, these are the use of the flow derivation curve. Next, on this flow derivation curve, one problem we are going to solve. The daily flows of the river for 3 consecutive years as shown in table. Okay, 3 consecutive years, 61 to 62, 62 to 63, 63 to 64. For convenience, the discharge are shown in class intervals. In class intervals, the discharge is given means 140 to 120, 120 to 100. Okay, like this up to this 10 to 5. The number of days the flow belong to the class is shown. Here number of days is shown here. Okay. Calculate the 50 and 70% dependable flow of the river for the river. It means you have to calculate the discharge for which there is 50% time the discharge is more than that discharge or equal to that discharge. At 70% time the discharge you have to find which is you can get okay either that discharge more than equal to that discharge, that we have to find. This is the daily mean discharge here. Daily discharge it is given. Number of days flow in each class interval. Okay, it is given. We have to add from 61 to 64. 3-year duration we have to calculate. Total column is 61 to 64. If we add the number of times, number of days, it's number of days, total number of days from this 61 to 64 that we have to add. 2 plus 7 plus 10, 19, 12 plus 18 plus 15, like we have to add. So total number of days is, okay, total number is, if you take the summation, it will be 1096. Okay, so cumulative value, if you take, that is the M, means 6, 25, 70, 130, means 130 times the flow is more than this 130 times the flow is in between the 80 to 60. Okay, so you have to calculate this cumulative value. Then on using this formula m by n plus 1 you have to calculate. So then you have to plot this between discharge, this mean discharge. Okay, this mean discharge of this plot this column and the PP, that is the dependable value. These are the dependable value, PP value. If you plot, then you will get, we need that 50% and 70% dependable flows. So 50% 70% is here. In the log plot we have to do because the data range is very high. Okay, from 0.1 to 100. So data range you see here, data range is 0.55 to 99. So range is so high, there's a log paper. Here range is so high, 140 to 10.51. 10 to 5.1. So if the range is high, data range, then you have to put it in log paper. So here the 50% corresponding to 50 and 70%, here you can calculate. Okay, this value and this value. which is given 35 meter per second, 26 meter per second. It means that 50% of the time the flow is equal or more than 35 meter cube per second. Q70 means 75 means the flow, the 70% of time the flow is equal to or more than 26 cubic meter per second. Okay, so for today this much. Okay, next class we'll start the hydrograph. Okay, thank you so much.